Mm. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? I hope you're doing well. I am doing okay. I just got a little congestion in my throat this morning, frog in my throat, whatever. Oh my goodness, must be all those toady frogs I kept hearing croaking last night, and that one, and I had it would have been an accident, but I was going up somebody's driveway, and I almost stepped on a toady frog. I'm like, no, oh my goodness! I thought I didn't realize what it was, and then all of a sudden it dawned on me what it was. I'm like, oh shit! Don't want to step on the little toady frog. It was a big one though, for a toady frog. I think it was a male. From what I could see, I think pet it a little bit. He was just like, oh my gosh, no! But he was a good size toady frog. So it's like I love it. I just absolutely love it. I know. But yeah, last night with work. Well, I wound up so I could make sure I had enough money to cover that rent for the vehicle this week, and also make sure I have enough for gas left over. I wound up working about 10 hours yesterday. So, and it was funny because the app kept sending me notifications there towards the end. You only have this amount of time left to be able to work. And it's like, yeah, I'm working on it. It keeps sending me decent rides. Oh my goodness. No, I mean, it was pretty normal, yesterday, as far as, how much um, how much the rides would be and so forth, and everything. But and I knew it was going to be a late night. I knew that already, but I did it. It was like, yay! I was able to do it. I knew I'd be able to from a physical standpoint. I did take a little nap before I headed out. Excuse me, I know. But I knew I'd be fine in that respect. I was just wondering, the later it got and places closing, if any place was going to be open, for me to be able to do it. But nope, I did. No problem. And it helped too, of course, to get out as early as possible too, before places actually closed, even the drive-through. So, but one thing that did happen, I, in a way, kind of kicked myself for it. I last minute, late last night, like after midnight, I got a request for a shopping run at a grocery store, and I thought they closed at 10, 11 o'clock, depending on the location. Well, and the way that it came in, it reminded me of what I used to get all the time out there with ghost orders. That's what I call them anyway. They're orders that wind up getting stuck in the system, okay? And different drivers will show up and the place will be closed or already been picked up or what have you. And it just gets stuck in the system or whatever, and then it keeps throwing it out to other drivers, raising the payment amount and so on and so forth. So that's what I was thinking that it was, especially with the store. I'm like, I thought for sure they were closed by then. Like, this has got to be a ghost order. So I declined it. Well, the next one that I got, it was at a fast food restaurant that was right there where that location is, and I pull in and I'm like, uh-oh. Yep, they were open. And so I looked at the hours and real quick, and sure enough, they're open 24 hours. I'm like, fuck. Because it was a high dollar amount order as well. But, oh well. From the way it looked like it may have been going a little bit of a distance anyway. So, and I really didn't want to do that. I just wanted a quick ride, go run, and I was right there in the area where there's a 24-hour Walgreens. I could take care of my banking and then go home. So that's what I wound up doing. But lesson learned. I know now. But that's the thing though, because I know full well that because I was looking at the different locations, and even the location that's right up the road from me, I know they used to close at 10 o'clock. So I think hours changed. So I don't beat myself up too much for it. So it could be a situation where they all changed their hours to 24 hours, and I didn't know. So, but you know, the old saying, looks like a duck, quacks like a duck. It's most likely a duck. Well, that's what I was going off of. So, yeah, it looked like a ghost order, smelled like a ghost order. It looked like it, the whole ball of wax. So, but, oh well, it wound up not being the case, but that's okay. This worked out good for me. By the time everything was said and done, I didn't get home until about 1 this morning, got to bed about 2. Was woken up by my glucometer, low sugar. I'm like, okay. I kind of toss and turn. Finally, I'm like, yeah, I gotta get up and take care of this. It is been raining a little bit off and on this morning, so, but yeah, I gotta also cook some breakfast this morning. I'm out of food, so I'm gonna make myself some bacon and pancakes. That sounded good, yeah. And I gotta go out to work tonight or today, even if it's just for a little while, because I got my phone bill that I'm gonna. Oh my goodness. Okay, that just went from my throat up into my nose. Sorry about that. So yeah, I gotta take care of that, and I've been sick, so I don't have music access in the car. I've been using my data to stream music in the background in my Bluetooth, and I've just been keeping it going even when I go into stores or restaurants or what have you. I've been playing my Native American flute music, very meditative and everything, and it has helped me quite a bit, especially with trying to maneuver all these freeways and so forth around here. It's just like, wow, yeah. Especially that one down there on the southern end. It's the 494. It reminds me of the 404 out there in LA. Oh my gosh, the construction and so forth. And I did run into a little bit of rush hour traffic yesterday. Um, it's still not that bad, you know. Yeah, it can get kind of backed up or whatever, but I've seen much worse. Ran into, I think, a little bit of an accident. I wound up, it was weird yesterday, and wound up, sorry, I wound up way down on the southern end, down there by the airport, Mall of America again. And then next thing I know it, I had picked up this order from Asian restaurant. Asian was very popular yesterday for dinner. But anyway, picked that up, and that wound up taking me, excuse me, way north, way up here, basically. And this is where I stayed for the rest of the night. Oh my goodness. Ah, man. So, but yeah, and that was kind of interesting. And I was a little concerned about that because, I mean, up till now, I've been able to keep, when it comes to late night after things are closing and so forth, you know, most places are closing at around 10 o'clock, maybe 11 or something like that. But seemed to have better luck with places staying open late on the south side. And last night, okay, of course, I was a little concerned with being up on this side, but then I wound up even further north. I wound up doing deliveries way out the boonies a few times, and I was just like, oh crud, you know, this is not good, especially seeing how, you know, it's getting late and I have to make this dollar amount tonight because I know that rent is going to be coming out, and it's an automatic payment. It's going to be coming out today, and I'm like, you know, I'm not too sure how this is going to work out or whatever, but it's like, no, Keep your faith and trust in spirit. Everything will work out. But I will admit, at one point, as I was winding up way out there, and I mean way out there, this area called St. Francis, and it was way out there. And I mean, and it was in the middle of the night. It's pitch black. I can't see shit. I mean, and of course I've got people coming behind me because I'm not doing the speed limit. I'm going a little bit slow, trying to take it a little bit easy, especially this one section of road. There was all this construction work, and the way, I don't know if it was the way it was laid out, or people, you know how rambunctious people, or kids especially, they'll take and move the cones or whatever, you know. And I'm just like, oh, crud. So, of course, I got people trying to tailgate me and all this, but I couldn't see, you know. I mean, it's pitch black, and I'm not used to this. And of course, there's no street lighting or anything, and I'm worried about, you know, deer coming running out. That was my biggest fear. I mean, it was bad enough I was worried about the little critters, but I was really worried about a deer coming, jumping out or something. But fortunately, I didn't see any. It's like, oh, that's all I need to do right now. Wreck the car because of a deer. Oh my goodness. But no, everything worked out okay and so forth. But yeah, and each time I would wind up out in the boonies. Well, the first time it happened, it was earlier and it was still light out, so it was okay. I could see to get my way back, and I'm like, okay, remember this route. But with that last one, there's no way I was going to be able to remember all the twists and turns that I had to do and everything. So I had to set it in the app, hey, you know, start finding, I basically set home as my destination, and had it find rides for me along the way. So it's like, okay, bam. And that's how I wound up getting a ride. At least I got back to an area where I recognized it and I could maneuver myself, you know, after that. So it's like, okay. But yeah, earlier, when I wound up out in the boonies, this area called Lake Ham. It's Ham, as in Ham, Ham. Don't ask. I'm assuming it was somebody's last name at some point who founded this area. But anyway, beautiful area, very, very expensive homes. But what was interesting, and they were beautiful and everything. But what was interesting, especially this one area that I wound up in, I think it's called Fox Run or something like that. I don't remember. But anyway, there was this, and actually it's my favorite house. Old home, you know, built probably maybe turn of the century or something like that. Oh, I know, my nose is really funky now. And it sat right on the lake, beat up, definitely needs some love and everything. It's still occupied by somebody even. And they're the occupier anyway. I don't know if he's the owner or renting or what have you. I'm going to say he's probably the owner, was standing out there smoking a cigarette, and his truck was on the other side, parked in the driveway, and I was just like, oh, I'd love to get my hands on it and just give it some love, you know, help revitalize it. It's beautiful sitting there, and it was just one of those quaint little settings, you know, it's like, wow. And just when I had thought, or have been thinking, oh, I think I really like this area, maybe go and settle down in. It's this, what is it called? Silver Lake Park. And right next door is, I think is it St. Andrew, St. Anthony, something like that. I know it's Saint something, it begins with an A. That much I do know. Both cute little areas. I really love them and everything. And then, especially this one little house I had seen in St. whatever the name is. It was a cute, cute little cottage, yellow with white gingerbread. And it was just like, oh, that's such a cute little setting, and everything. And I like the apartments that they have, and with what I'm looking around, and the amenities and so on and so forth. It's kind of like, oh, and Fridley. They're all kind of right there in that little area. But anyway, just right, and I'm thinking either there or right here, where we're at right now. I like both areas. It's quiet, and cute little houses, nice little apartments, and it doesn't, not a whole lot of crime or anything, it's just quiet, as a, as opposed to, see, in a way, I like the South Side, but I had to think, I'm like, what is it about it? I'm like, there's something there. I mean, yeah, I like it and everything, but then it dawned on me, what the reason why I'm being drawn to it is because it reminds me, kind of a combination of Henderson and Summerlin out there in Vegas. City Henderson and then Summerlin. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is why. It's more the energy that I'm being drawn to. And I'm like, no, this isn't what I'm looking for. Whereas you have a little bit of the shopping experience that you have like down in St. Louis Park and Edina, Edina and so forth. But you have a little bit of that over there in that area, especially that one area in particular that I really like. But it's very quiet. It isn't a lot of that yuppie atmosphere and so forth that I was kind of being drawn to down there. So I don't know. I'll still check out these areas up here and stuff. I really like it up here on the north side. Plus, you don't have to worry about the airport traffic down there. I mean, we do have an airport up here. It's a county airport, services, like executive planes, like the jet planes, the executive jet planes and so forth. It does handle those. I think even slightly larger size planes as well. But, mostly the small ones. And, of course, your pedal jumpers and so forth. But just when I thought, okay, I'm starting to get a little settled, then all of a sudden I got thrown up in Anoka. Oh my gosh. I gotta check it out. Especially the Main Street area. Oh my gosh. It's cute little shops and so forth. And of course you got, you got your local places combined with your larger places and so forth. And I'm like, and it was so adorable. I'm like, but unfortunately I couldn't see very much because it was middle of the night. They also have some beautiful Victorian homes and so forth. I'm like, oh, and I know that I've been wanting to go there anyway because there's a spiritual shop there that I've been wanting to check out, metaphysical store. So I'm like, all right, this is a good excuse for me to go over there and check this out. And I might do it on my own. Just to, yeah. And of course I could check out rents and so forth. I wouldn't mind living up there or over there or whatever. It's not that far. So, yeah, I'll have to definitely go and check that out. But yeah, that was a nice little surprise. I was like, because to tell you the truth, I've only been finding the Victorians either right there, Minneapolis, St. Paul, and now finding them away from the cities. It's like, I might go check that out. It's just like, whoa. Especially this one that I had seen. They did it as a painted lady. Oh my gosh. It was so adorable. I was like, oh my gosh. I haven't seen any painted ladies. Not like that anyway. So, where they really guzzied it up, basically. And it's like, yeah, I gotta go check that out. So, but yeah, I will say it is nice being surrounded by history again. I mean, yeah, there's history out there in Vegas, but it's of course all related to the mob. But I'm talking about historic sites and so forth. I was raised. That's what I was raised with. I was raised with. I mean, basically, I lived in two of the original 13 colonies. So that's the sort of history that I'm used to. And I have missed that a lot. As I'm a big history buff. Yeah, I'm a weather bug, but I'm a big history buff. So, what you looking at? Oh, I'm sorry. I must have disrupted her bird watching or something. Did I? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I disrupted your bird watching, and your squirrely squirrel watching. Want to say hi? Say good morning. She's like, okay, whatever. But anyway, yeah, I really have missed that, being able to go to like the old battlefields, like the Revolutionary War, Civil War, and so on and so forth. I have missed that. And like Colonial Williamsburg, going to those historic sites, the Jamestown settlement, Yorktown, all seeing the original colonial homes and so forth. A lot of them are still there, like the Colonial Mansion, the Governor's Mansion. You can still visit it. Beautiful building. But yeah, and Williamsburg was the colonial capital for of the colony of Virginia originally, before it was switched over to Richmond at some point. But anywho, yeah, it was. I missed all of that, and actually yesterday, and well, let me back up. Being able to drive around, the cities, downtown areas, seeing the revitalization efforts, seeing all the old buildings, especially some of the old apartment complexes, like right there around the universities, like University of Minnesota, and also what's the name of it? Augsburg University. They call themselves the Augies. I wound up there on their campus yesterday, and seeing all of the old apartment complexes, or old homes, all converted over to apartments, or what have you, and we're talking brick structures, and so forth. I mean, it just, or even original apartment buildings, they're still standing there over 100 years later. It's just like, having all that sort of history around me. It's been a long time, and it's like, wow, this is just awesome. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I've missed it a lot. I've missed it quite a lot, especially this kind of history with what I was raised with and everything. It's like, wow, one of these days I'm going to get up there to New England, especially during the fall. It's like, yeah, this is going to happen. So, yeah, this has been a real treat for me, living here. But, yes, seeing and, having opportunities to experience it and everything, it's been awesome. Oh, that's what I was going to mention. There's this one historic site. It was a fort. It's called Fort Snelling. And I've been seeing signs for it quite a bit and everything. And yesterday, I wound up on the fort. It is a state park. It's a huge complex, really. I was thinking, forts, with what I was thinking, especially on the prairie and so forth, or in the Midwest or whatever, I was thinking what you might see in the movies or whatever, where it's temporary structures, matchstick sort of places and so forth. This was actually a huge complex. I'm sure it was built up over the years. I'm sure it started off as, something small like what you see in pictures and in movies and so forth. Actual historical pictures is what I'm talking about. But I'm sure it grew over the years. But it was a pretty nice big complex. The thing that I liked about it is a state park. You do see the original buildings. They are occupied by tenants. actual people renting out the spaces and so forth. I kind of wonder if the one building where I was actually dropping the order off at, I kind of wonder if it may be low income housing or what have you. Just kind of judging by the people that I was seeing, it's like it kind of makes me wonder if it's all maybe government subsidized housing now or something. But it looks nice, at least from the outside, or what have you. There's even homes, like single family homes that were across the street on site as well. And these were original homes, probably like officers' homes or something like that. So yeah, and they were private residences, personal addresses, and so forth. And they were kept up, at least from the outside. I don't know about the inside. But yeah, and then what I'm gonna and you could see also other barracks. It looked like that they you could definitely, of course, see that they were boarded up or what have you. But they might be in the process of revitalizing them. I'm not entirely too sure. I'd have to do some, this is all my own speculation. I'd have to actually do some research. But those were I saw those, and I'm not too sure if what I was looking at were original parade grounds, training, or what have you. But they converted those open spaces to parks, okay, and sports fields. It looked like it was for like youth games. So like a soccer, baseball, they had some youth baseball fields. They had quite a few games going on, both soccer games and baseball games happening. And these people definitely take things seriously. It isn't a situation where it's like, oh, okay, we're going to throw you a T-shirt, here, kids, here's a T-shirt, and, go out and play or what have you. No, this is taken very seriously. These kids had nice uniforms, and I mean nice, very nice uniforms. We're talking like major league sort of nice style uniforms. And these kids were damn serious. So it was like, okay, like with looking at them practicing, while the game is going on, and so on and so forth. But yeah, these were some nice uniforms. I was quite impressed. So it was like, yeah, the thing that I was most impressed is instead of, leaving all these wide open spaces open, and not being utilized and basically there for show, with it being part of a state historical site, it's actually being utilizing that space for something positive instead of focusing so much on possibly negative aspects of the past, oh, this such and such happened here or what have you, and it's like it's actually being utilized for something positive. So that I thought was really inspiring. I thought it was very, very inspiring. So I really appreciated that, seeing it and everything. But I knew that I could tell before I even got on site that I was heading towards something historic because of what I was seeing on the outside, on the outskirts of it, or what have you. I was seeing something that looked like it was man-made, some sort of fortification or what have you. It was basically this stone or whatever. Where they would have even have gotten it from, it didn't even look like it may have even have been local. But it was stacked on top of each other, overgrown and so forth. But you could definitely tell it was something that was man-made. It was out of place, And I'm like, I think I'm getting close to that Fort Snelling place I keep seeing signs for as I'm driving around. Sure enough, that's where I wound up. So yeah, that was interesting. And it was fun. It was fun. I'll have to do some research on it, see what sort of history there is on it and everything. There was a board, an informational board. I kind of took a look at it. I didn't stay for very long because I had another request that I had to go run to. But um, uh, I was able to kind of see a little bit here and there. They had some pictures on it. It looked like there was a black regiment that was stationed there at one point, and um, um, I really wasn't able to gather all that much information off of it. And I know that the garrison that was stationed there wound up serving at the Battle of Gettysburg during the Civil War. This I was able to gather a couple of things. It may have been that Black Regiment, as far as I know. I have no idea. Um, um, but but yeah, I'll have to see about doing some research on it and everything. Hey, I I don't mind. Yeah, like I said, I love history and everything, and I would really like to do some um, research on that and see what it's about and so forth. So anyway, yeah. Oh, the other thing I was going to mention, it was kind of weird when I woke up from my nap yesterday. I didn't have any of my jewelry on or anything. When I got up, I went to go put it on. What's weird, I usually wear this ring on my ring finger, on my left hand, which is weird. And for whatever reason, I put it on this hand, and it was just like, I usually have it. There we go, right here. Really kind of weird, but for some reason, and I'm just like, I'm like, why? I caught myself, and I was like, why did I do that? I'm like, oh well, I'll just leave it. I guess there's a spiritual reason. Kind of weird. Don't ask me. Maybe I'm leaving it open. Yeah. Maybe it's a sign. Whatever. But anyway. So yeah. All in all, it was a good day. It really was yesterday. So, but yeah, I'm gonna make myself some bacon and pancakes and get myself moving, and so I can get out there and make some more money. This is awesome. I'm loving this. I really am. Um, it's been nice. It really has been a nice transition, and I know I need to get things rolling as far as my excuse me, health insurance is concerned. I've got that going on. I've got to do that, especially since I've got lab work and then that follow-up doctor's appointment coming up, the endocrinologist. I'm not worried about a primary care physician right now. I'm more concerned with keeping up with the endocrinologist so I can keep my insulin prescriptions going. And my sensors and so forth. Yeah, I had to swap that out yesterday too. Yeah, how you doing? Mm-hmm. I know. Mommy giving you kisses and huggies and so forth all the time. All sorts of lovin's. You're so silly. Yes, you are. Here, say hi again. Yeah. She's like, whatever. I don't care, Mom. That's your thing. So, but all in all, it was a good day yesterday. Really, really good. So, yeah, having lots of fun. At least, today I can scale back a little bit with with work. So, I just mostly need to make sure I get covered with yeah. Yeah, get covered with the whatchamajig. Mm-hmm. But I will say that streaming my music is kind of eating up all my data, and so I'm gonna have to get a little bit more of an expensive plan. I do prepays. I don't do contracts or anything. I even was looking at maybe getting a mobile hotspot, but by the time everything is said and done, I'm basically winding up paying double the amount for things. And it's like, no, I think I'll just pay a little bit more expensive for my prepay and see how much data I use, and then I'll probably be able to cut back on the plans or whatever, and just replenish, what I need, basically. Kind of keep track of how much I use, and then go from there. But I'm definitely eating through my data. But, I actually like this more. Even though that Bluetooth is driving me nuts, it doesn't want to stay in my damn ear. I have to figure out something with it. I don't want to get another one or whatever, But I do like this, being able to stream whatever sort of music that I want to listen to, and go from there. Somebody's getting her tummy rubbed. Hold on. See if I can show you guys. There she is, getting her tummy rubbed. Ecstasy. Oh, around my tummy. Around my tummy. I'm in heaven. I'm in sheer ecstasy. She's silly. Yeah, silly girl. Alright, guys. I love you guys. I'll talk to you all soon. Yeah, my other hand's a little bit busy, so. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Love you.